Welcome to another Twin Peaks recap. I am joined by Jake. How you doing, man?
I am excruciatingly tired from climbing the Harvard football stadium. There's like 37 sections, and we went up, down, up, down, up, down. Well, I skipped like probably a solid 10 or so of them, but still, I'm not in shape. And so I'm really, really fucking tired. And I'm eager to get through this so I can watch one more episode of Twin Peaks.
Me too. I had a very tiring day too. I went and drove with my girlfriend all the way to watch Toy Story 5. Went to the grocery
Nice.
store, went to a bunch of other stores, went to go eat, and now we're home. So I didn't really do a lot of anything, but I'm still tired.
You got a video coming up on Toy Story 5 or what?
Yeah, I might do like a ranking. People appear to like those a lot, so I'll probably do that tonight and then release it tomorrow. But for some reason, my TikTok, I just started recently posting for those of you that don't know. But mine do the best when I post at night. Like I can at least clear like 300 to 400 views, which is pretty good. But if I post during the day, I never do that good. It's weird.
There's something about the ranking thing, something about
Yeah,
that, like really, like even for me, like grabs your attention more so than like a trailer reaction. Like I liked
for
yours, I
sure,
watched
for
yours,
sure.
but
Yeah.
there's something about like, oh fuck, where's he gonna put that movie? Is it gonna be at the bottom or the top? There's just something about it that I think works better.
Yeah, reactions are so bad. This would be a really Twin Peaks would be a fun show to rank, like episodes or seasons, just because it's all over the place for everyone because
You
people.
should rank like the top five most chaotic Twin Peaks characters because they're all so fucking chaotic.
That's a good idea. Yeah,
You
it
know
you
why?
just
Because they're bored out of their fucking minds living in bumfucked Egypt in Twin Peaks. So they're like, whoa, we got to spice things up and be toxic.
Yeah, I wonder like how many of them travel. I wish we could there was we could kind of see what they do outside of this case. What like did Bobby and Laura, did they travel a lot? Did they just stay there? I don't know.
It's really hard for me to imagine at this point in the show. Like I think earlier in the show, it was kind of easier because I didn't know Laura that much. We still really don't, but it's really hard to me to imagine that Bobby and Laura were ever dating. Like they just don't. It doesn't seem like there's any kind of like overlap between them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she to me feels like Audrey, made like a chaos agent. Like she's probably very nice, but just always kind of getting into stuff where if you were her friend, you'd just be like, "What are you doing?" It should be fun to talk to just because who knows what she would be doing or who she would be going to see.
I know we need to dive into the episode, but let me ask you this one more time: is this show ever going to make sense, or is it just going to keep me confused?
Yes and no. Whenever you get a question answer, there's more questions. But it's like satisfying because you can kind of come up with your own conclusion for a lot of it, but not in a pretentious way because you do kind of get there's enough there for you to chew on to kind of come with your own conclusion and just dive deeper into it. I know that sounds very weird, but that's just kind of how Lynch rolls.
Well, I'm ready. So here's what I'm gonna do. I usually hide my self view, but what I'm gonna do, I didn't do it for some reason, and I keep seeing the reflection in my glasses, and it's pissing me off. So I'm just gonna take off my glasses, and
Whoa.
I can't see shit. Like it's immediate, but I have like just absolutely horrible vision. So everything on my screen is a blur, and I'm just gonna do the episode this way. So fuck it,
You're
let's go.
you're gonna be looking at me, and my face is slowly gonna contort into an owl, and then Bob's face, and then we're gonna have to end the stream,
The owls are not what they seem.
and then a giant's gonna walk into your room. That wouldn't that be so awesome? I want that to happen to me. I wish I was in Twin Peaks. I just wish all of these fun things that are happening to Cooper and everyone else were happening to me.
Dude, if the you know what I would do if the giant like walked into my room and tried to give me some message, I'd be like, listen here, you need to tell Kevin Feige to acknowledge Agents of Shield as
Yeah,
canon.
yeah.
If you could just
Before,
walk into someone's room like this.
yeah, here's a clue for you. Um,
Yeah.
so what do you think of this episode overall?
Yeah, I was trying to put my head in that space. I'm not a big fan of, and I'm not just saying this to score, audience points or whatever, but it is kind of creepy that Cooper is like kind of sort of seems to be catching feels for Audrey. It's a little bit like, yeah, bro, come on, FBI agent, like stop, get your mind out of the gutter, Agent Cooper. And it's also a little weird because it's like it's just I don't know. It strikes me as a weird thing to say because he's talking to Diane in the recording,
Yeah.
and it was a little bit like I find myself reminded of her smile. Like if there's a girl that's missing, it just strikes me as a weird thing to say. It's like, oh, her smile. It's like, bro, go find her. You're a fucking detective. Um, yeah, so there's that. But no, it was a great episode overall, and I liked. It felt like Donna was back. It feels like in the season one finale, Donna kind of went put on the back burner, and we forgot to talk about this in the twin cap for the season premiere. But she was acting very out of character in the first episode. She was like acting like a supermodel, smoking a cigarette, and all mysterious and shit. I'm like, what got into her?
Yeah,
So
I thought it was Audrey at first. I was like, what's she doing? What's Donna doing? She's
well,
acting
this
all
is what I
cool.
mean. People just get bored in Twin Peaks, so they just start acting up for no reason. Um, like that's my headcanon anyway. But it was good to see her kind of like return to some sense of normalcy. But then she's doing this Meals on Wheels thing, and she goes to that old lady's house, and it gets kind of really kind of creepy vibes in there with the like magician kid and shit.
For sure,
And
a
she leaves a note
highlight of
for
the episode. That was a really, really bizarre David Lynch kind of what is going on, but it's great. You're just like, I want to
it's
stay in this room for the whole episode.
it's one of those things where it's like you kind of start to feel your mind start to to detox and back what you kind of like losing concentration, and then that a scene like that will come along and just like hook your attention. You're like locked the fuck in again.
Yeah, because
So
what is it? There's like cream corn missing, and then she looks the other way, and then it appears in his hand. And it's just like she doesn't really question it. She's a little freaked out, but it's kind of like she's thinking, okay, this can happen here. Like a little weird, but
it's
yeah, this tracks. Whereas if we saw that, it's like, okay, Satan's here. Like,
the devil has arrived, ladies and gentlemen.
gotta
Yeah, it's really
run.
weird because like in the world of Twin Peaks, like magical thinking, like magical shit. I guess like people have like magical thinking in our reality, right, in life. But in this world, it's just like enhanced, to a whole nother level where shit like that's just normal. But it's at the same time, it's not like a fantasy. It's not like a fantasy genre where it's like abracadabra, you know, Harry Potter type. It's not at that level either. So it's this weird, like in between little fine line that Lynch is walking. And oh,
Yeah.
and on that scene, Mr. Smith, I'm like, oh, here we go, another new character, another
Oh,
new
yeah, I
plot line.
know. Dude, I thought first I was like, do we know this guy? But just another, throw another one in the mix. Why not?
Some new jackass.
Yeah, there were Bob had a pretty heavy presence in this episode. He was in the ending, obviously, which is probably the scene where he's crawling over the couch is one of the most
Oh,
iconic scenes in the whole show.
so creepy, and it's so cheap and easy to shoot. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
there's
it's not
nothing.
like if there's no music or context and you see that, you're like, what? Like what?
Yeah, yeah. Like
Um,
it almost feels like it almost feels like something out of like a grunge music video. Where like the singer's like singing and he's crawling around and stuff like that. But no, it's just the most terrifying old man you've ever fucking seen coming to eat your lunch.
yeah, it was weird. But he's like obviously kind of back into the fold since Leo's looking like he probably didn't do anything. He's still kind of he's been in the coma for a while, but it's shifting toward Bob now because Ronette wakes up and identifies Bob as the attacker. She starts freaking out, and then we see Leland notice the picture of the wanted picture of Bob,
He
and
freaks
he was
out.
like, "Oh, grew up near my grandpa's house," so he's really coming back in heavily, and all things are pointing toward him being the guy. So, any thoughts on that? Like, are you starting to think like it's him, or do you think Bob is where he's misunderstood and that like what do you think?
It seems like he's like the villain. It almost, you know what it reminds me of, dude? Like, not to make everything about Stephen King, but everything is about Stephen King. It reminds me of it, where like each different kid is kind of like it appears to each of these kids as their fear. and so they're all slowly kind of.
Oh, you just cut out. Oh, I heard a little click. Nothing yet. It's live TV, baby. Live TV. You're good. While you look, I'm gonna bring something else up real quick. And I know you're gonna want to touch on this, so I hesitate to even talk about it. It's the kind of the alien situation. Just very quickly, Bobby's dad kind of passes off that message to Cooper. The owls are not what they seem, and that he's been monitoring stuff that's been going on in outer space. So it's funny. The alien thing to me is like not even weird compared to what's happening in Twin Peaks with Bob and the giant coming in. The alien thing is kind of like that tracks. It makes sense. It's to me, it's it's there's just something else to think about in the, but I don't know. How's it looking?
Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, yeah, that works.
Okay. Yeah, no, when the aliens thing happened, I was like, X-Files crossover, it's happening.
Oh yeah, that's a good, yeah, because you had talked about the X-Files like at the beginning of the season. So this is now it's like, yeah, this is X-Files.
I really wanted because Mulder and Scully and X-Files they work for the FBI too. So I'm like, dude, I just want Mulder and Scully to show up. But yeah, with the whole alien thing, I'm like, okay, this has to be like some kind of like intergalactic alien demonic thing. Like from the if you take like the lore of mainstream Christianity, technically demons are aliens, right? Because they're from heaven, they're not from earth. So technically, so with this whole like Bob thing, and that kind of seems like it's some kind of like satanic cult. And now you got aliens sending messages to Cooper and the FBI and NASA and the military and shit or whatever. I'm like, oh, maybe there's like some good aliens out there warning us about like the demon aliens on Earth that Bob is involved with. I don't fucking know, but that's like where my mind went when I heard that.
I should have, because I didn't remember the whole alien thing, but owls are such heavily tied to aliens that we should have guessed. Like from when the giant gave that clue, the owls are not what they seem. We should have guessed that. Um, the last thing there were a couple of other things that happened throughout the episode. I don't think they're really important. Like Andy's is infertile, so that means Lucy must have had an affair. That's just more fun drama, not something insane, but it's just kind of fun. And then
Look, my mind was also because I'm actually pretty concerned with that side plot
really, oh,
because
good, good.
why are they fighting? Like for a second, it seemed like they were the only couple not cheating on each other on some level. But maybe she didn't cheat. Maybe she went to the sperm bank.
Yeah, anything, literally anything's possible in Twin Peaks. And then the kind of one of the last things that happens after Maddie has the vision of Bob, which again is kind of the highlight of the entire episode, is that Blackie gets Audrey. She kind of restrains her at the end, and it's like, all right, what now?
Yeah, I mean, like Audrey's in over her head, but again, like with the same thing with like she should have seen her dad like showing up. She should have seen that coming. I feel like she should have also seen like Blackie like catching her and catching on. Like, come on, dude. I know you're a high schooler, but just try not to be a dumbass.
Yeah, she's acting not really characteristic of Audrey because I feel like she'd be smarter than that. Just kind of what she's doing right now is kind of annoying because it seems like she's smarter than what she's kind of gotten herself into.
I
Um,
agree, but maybe what they're trying to like show us is that like, oh, she's not as smart as she made herself out to be because she's just a kid. Like maybe that's the angle. I don't really know.
yeah,
Um,
well, go ahead, go ahead.
nothing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say one interesting thing to point out for the season two premiere, it had 19.1 million viewers, and then this episode went down to 14.4, and then it just kind of slowly kept going down and down, and the season two finale ended up only having 10.4 million viewers. So I guess it finally started to get a little too weird for everyone.
You can't trust Americans to recognize art. I swear to God, you just can't do it.
It's just too weird. I constantly like to think of like a 38-year-old mother watching this at night in 1990, just being
Mhm.
because there comes a point where she's probably like, I tried, I'm done. Like we're not
Yeah.
getting answers and it's getting weirder. But for us and like people in this day and age, it's like, yes, get weirder. Yes,
Yeah. Don't give
please.
me the answer. Give me
I
more
don't want the
questions.
answer. Make it weirder. Um,
Two last things for me. One was, when I guess Bob appeared to Laura's cousin, what's her name again?
oh, Maddie.
Well, it came after that song
Oh,
that they
you're
were all
right. Yeah, I
singing,
did.
which was itself really bizarre. Not in the sense because I guess it's kind of normal for like a group of high schoolers to like strum a guitar and sing something, but their voices were off and it just felt kind of like
Lip
almost
syncy kind of like,
lip
yeah.
syncy and ritualistic. Like their voices didn't sound like their voices. Um, but then also like he made eye contact with Maddie, is that her name?
Yeah.
And so it kind of seems like they had like a flirtatious connection. And then Donna's like, "Oh, fuck this," and she like walks like storms off. And I was just like, man, you guys just can't stop fucking around. You guys it's just a town of horn dogs.
Yeah, and yeah. It doesn't get old either. It's always kind of fun to see who's cheating on who, and it's like you got a case to solve. Like, cut it out, do that
Yeah,
later.
it literally reminds me of like the Alan Jackson song, "Who's cheating? Who's being true?" Like this gossip.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I guess the last thing for me would be at the very top of the episode, just through conversation, we get the reveal that Cooper's former partner like
Oh yeah.
escaped a hospital,
Yep.
which just it's just like it's like an insane lore drop. I don't know if
It
that ever becomes relevant, but it's just like, yeah, of course. It's just like, of course, another thing, of course.
well, when you say it, it seems very serious, but I had forgotten all about it. It's a very important part of the episode because it's like, uh-oh, like this is probably not going to be good, but who knows? Like we don't know. It's just kind of brushed over.
It's interesting because Wikipedia. I'm not going to click on anything, but Wikipedia says his name is Wyndham.
Oh,
Wyndham Earl
interesting.
is like is his
Interesting.
name. And I was walking from Whole Foods back to my apartment earlier, and me and Julie had a whole conversation about the street by my apartment or halfway between, that we noticed that it's called Wyndham Avenue
No
in
way.
Boston. And
Wow.
cause I was like, what the heck? What Wyndham? What kind of word is that? And then I see this. It's like, oh, that's the name of Cooper's partner. Signs.
Signs. That's crazy. It's always weird when stuff like that happens in real life.
Dude, that's the one thing keeping me from like full blown atheism right now. It's like little shit like that. Like, oh
Dude, signs also
God,
aliens in this episode.
aliens, signs.
That's
Dude,
weird. That's really weird.
we need to rewatch Signs, man. I
I know we
keep
need to go back to we need to go back to Twin Peaks, Lake Arrowhead, and watch Signs.
dude, I'm not even shitting you. Like, since we watched that last May, I have not been able to stop thinking. I've been thinking about that movie for a whole year now.
It's perfect, right? I mean, it's like literally perfect.
I'm gonna go back and see what let's see how many stars we gave it. Let's see. This
Easy
is such
five
a
for me. I've always loved that. That's my favorite Shyamalan movie.
this is a digression, but it's
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
tangentially relevant to Twin Peaks. Let's see. Because this came out in 2002, you could probably argue it's probably knowing what's his name. I never know how
Oh,
to pronounce it.
Shyamalan. Yeah.
But knowing this guy, like he probably was inspired by Twin Peaks, low key.
Oh, yeah. He could have been. Yeah.
So you gave it five. You gave it 5 stars. What did I give it? Yeah, I gave it 5 stars. Yeah, good.
Would you
I was
consider
I was
Signs to be a faith-based movie?
faith based. I mean, not in the way that term is usually. It's usually a shorthand for like Christian movie. Watch it with your family. I don't think it's like a bad movie in the sense that you gotta like worry about it, but uh, not I guess not in the normal sense of that term, but in like a if you take the word literally, like it's a movie about faith.
Yeah.
It's what the whole. It's an acid trip of a movie about faith.
And it works. It's very effective.
Yeah, need to rewatch that movie, man. Great cast too,
Better than Disclosure Day, too.
dude. From it's crazy because like Signs. It has nothing to do with Twin Peaks.
No, yeah. Now I just want to talk about Signs.
This twin cap has gone off the rails. But for a movie, because Science is indebted to Spielberg. Like it so obviously
Oh yeah.
invokes Close Encounters of the Third Kind, you know? So it's kind of crazy to see like I guess the student eclipse the master in that way. Again, I feel bad for even saying that because hallowed be Spielberg's name and all that. But I didn't. I mean, you know me, dude. I did not like Disclosure Day, and I didn't even like the classic Close Encounters.
You know what's weird too is that Close Encounters is objectively beloved. Like it's just by all. Like
Yeah,
people would usually put that in their top 5 or 10 Spielberg. I would not. You would not. But I recognize for me that it's a great movie. I understand why people love it. I know you don't like it, but Signs, people do like it and it has good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. But there are people who don't like that just because of like things that happen at the ending. But the ironic thing about all of this is that Disclosure Day somehow has great reviews. I don't really understand that.
I
But
don't
people,
understand.
dude, people, they have made the comparison. I've seen people say this. If you take off Spielberg's name and slap M. Night Shyamalan onto that movie, it tanks. Like the reviews are horrible. And that's so weird because we're talking about how Signs is influenced by Spielberg. He makes this movie. It's kind of like a full circle moment. You know, it's like an
Dude.
inverse, like weird thing.
It is itself a sign.
Yeah. It's a sign we got to get to Lake Arrowhead. That's what this all means.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Very
that's next
weird.
up.
But yeah, the episode it was a good episode. Didn't blow me away as much as the previous one, but it's hard to follow up like a loaded hour and a half premiere, you know, to
Yeah.
that answers some questions about the finale, but it was still solid. Anything else you want to add before we go?
No, I'm ready to sit my ass down and watch episode 3 of season 2.
Season also episode 3 is directed by Leslie Linka Glatter, the woman we like who did like the Homeland episodes, and she
Nice.
directed the episode last season that was really good. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, I have nothing else. Where can the people find you?
JKH Bennett. That would be on TikTok, Letterboxd, and LinkedIn.
Then you can find me at Tyler Tompkins on Letterboxd and TikTok. We will be back with our season 2, episode 3 recap soon.